Sometimes the volatility of the market is the story. Not today. But so let's talk about NFTs. We know that there's been some big news about the IRS taking over crypto, finding some billions of dollars and seizing cryptocurrency. They had those that had hijacked a bunch of crypto recently made the news. But today there's a story about the first crypto or the first NFT. At least I believe it's the first, but at least I couldn't find any evidence otherwise. But the British authorities just seized NFTs for the first time in a $1.4 billion pound fraud probe. That's $1.9 million in US. So let's go down to the key points because we're in London's. So let's talk about this. Okay, let's read the story. Britain's tax watchdog has seized 3 non-fungible tokens in what is thought to be the first seizure of NFTs by a UK law enforcement agency. Again, it doesn't say everywhere, but officials at Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Doesn't that sound better than the IRS, Internal Revenue Service? Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs say they seized the NFTs during an investigation into suspected value-added tax fraud case. 3 suspects have been arrested on suspicion of attempting to defraud the taxman. The suspects allegedly tried to claim back more VAT, which is a type of sales tax, than what they were owed, so using a mix of stolen identities, unregistered phones, and false invoices to hide their identities. The scheme involved 250 alleged fake companies. Our first seizure of a non-fungible token serves as a warning to anyone who thinks they can use crypto assets to hide money from the HMRC. How silly of you. We constantly adopt a new technology to ensure we keep pace with how criminals and evaders look to conceal their assets. NFTs are a one-of-the-kind digital assets designed to track ownership of virtual items, like a work of art or video game character, on the blockchain. Blockchains are digital ledger systems that underpin most major cryptocurrencies. Demand for NFTs has soared lately, with the sales of such tokens topping $40 billion in 2021, and it's only going up. However, the market is prone to thefts and scams, and there are concerns that much trading activity in NFTs have been fueled by market manipulation tactics, such as wash trading. Wash trading is when you sell something and then you buy it right back. You sell it at a loss and then you buy it right back. In the United States, much stock trading, wash sale rule. Right as we sit here today, the wash sale rule does not apply to cryptocurrency. And that could be a big way to help manage your tax liabilities. Today, there's nothing wrong with the wash sale with cryptocurrencies, nothing illegal about it. HMRC, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. HMRC says it's the first law enforcement body in the UK to make a seizure of NFTs. Authorities seized 3 NFTs representing digital art, as well as another £5,000 in other crypto assets. The NFTs are yet to be appraised, and the probe is ongoing. The news arrives just a week after U.S. officials said that they had seized more than $3.6 billion in allegedly stolen bitcoins linked to the 2006 hack of cryptocurrency exchange. David Carlisle, head of the policy and regulatory affairs at Crypto Compliance, said the NFT seizure shows that criminals can't hide in a world of crypto. Enforcement agencies are able to track and trace criminals' transactions and seize NFTs and crypto assets used in illicit activity, robbing criminals of their profits. Of course, that's what they want to do. Okay, so is that? I thought it was longer than that. But anyway, there's other stories about this. In the Daily Mail. Here's a story, same story. I don't like to read the Daily Mail. It's too much of the same thing over and over again. They repeat the same thing. Usually the Daily Mail, in my opinion, the Daily Mail's story is right there in the links. HMRC claims it's the first law enforcement agency to seize non-fungible tokens. NFTs are latest craze in cryptocurrency, with celebrities jumping on the bandwagon. The 3 suspects allegedly used sophisticated methods to hide identities. HMRC says arrests should act as warning not to hide money through crypto. Well, you can't hide money in not crypto. Criminals are always going to try to hide money. And said, so I go through this. It's again, much of it is the same. Unlike cash or gold, both fungible objects that can be easily exchanged for another object or money at the same value. An NFT is non-fungible and cannot be exchanged in the same way. More simply, they can be seen as certificates of ownership for virtual and physical assets, with each having its own unique digital signature. An NFT acts as an artist's signature on a digital artwork, verifying its ownership and authenticity, and is permanently and authentically attached to the piece. These collectible units of data, which first emerged in 2014, can be sold for large sums of money and can represent anything in the digital world. Where Bitcoin is seen as a digital answer to currency, NFTs are said to be the digital answer for collectibles, though there are doubts over its long-term viability. Okay, I wanted to include that because I thought that was interesting. That was an interesting take. Another story: HMRC seizes NFTs for the first time amid fraud inquiry. So as we see, again, the NFTs are things of value. Criminals are going to store this value, and when they get caught, the IRS or these other taxing authorities will always claim them. And they confiscate everything. They'll confiscate your bank account. They'll confiscate your crypto account, and now they'll confiscate your NFTs. And that's just the way it works. They're always going to take your assets. I wanted to mention also there was this. Well, I guess tomorrow we'll talk about the Patrick Daley Thompson case that just came down. But I wanted to mention it because it came down yesterday, and this was about signing tax returns. He says, the defendant says, that he did not know that they were wrong, and yet they still convicted him of tax evasion or tax crimes, tax fraud. So it's so important that when you're, and here we are in tax season, that when you sign, but people don't always realize that when you sign your tax return, you sign it under penalty of perjury. And so even if you don't know what's in it, you're saying you know what's in it. So it always makes sense to take a look at it and then ask questions. If you have questions from your tax preparer, ask them what this is. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because we're going to probably talk about that tomorrow, unless something bigger happens, and that's very possible that something bigger can happen. Again, this